just found, guys. We got arrowhead. Tips busted off. Pretty sweet. I haven't found very many arrowheads. Look at all the chipping marks on it where they sharpened it. Pretty cool. What do you think, everyone? Does that look like elk country to you? It does not really look like elk country to me. Looks more like antelope country, which I have seen 9 antelope today. This is the first day of my Utah 2020 any bull tag. And one of the nearest any bull areas to me is Box Elder County. So I'm out in Box Elder County, and I'm in an area that I've never been to before. I ran into an outfitter during my muzzleloader deer hunt, and he mentioned this area. He said nobody ever hunts it. He said, but there are elk here. He said, not a ton, but there are elk here. And I assume he's right. He guides for a living, so he should know where the elk are. I know he's right about one thing. There's nobody else hunting here. I've been here all day. I got here at 2 a.m. this morning. We had a football game last night. We got plastered. We're struggling this year, but anyway, long drive out here, like 27 miles on the dirt road. Haven't seen any elk at all. Again, I've seen some antelope, but this sure looks like an elk track to me. So if there's elk tracks, there's elk here. We'll keep grinding and see if we can find some. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've mainly just been driving this country and glassing. I'll drive about a quarter of a mile to a half a mile, stop the truck, get out and glass both sides. Repeat, repeat, repeat. I've done that all day. I did do a hike, about a 3-mile hike up to the top of that mountain over there, and just checking the little pockets. Didn't see anything. I thought I saw some elk tracks up there too, up high, but there was deer and antelope track, and there were some sheep tracks up there too. They were kind of all jumbled up, so I wasn't for sure if those were elk tracks up top. If you look out this way, that's actually the northern tip of the Great Salt Lake. So if you guys are familiar with northern Utah, that'll give you an idea of where I am. Again, I would never guess there are elk here, but I'm gonna trust this guy and see if we can find some. Second day I've been able to get out for the elk hunt. It's really windy. Hopefully you can hear me on the audio. My daughter had a volleyball tournament this morning. I didn't want to miss that. So it's about 11:45. I'm getting a really late start. Obviously just going to mainly hunt the afternoon and the evening. Got about a mile and a half to get into where I want to get. It's really crowded up here today. Not so much with hunters, just people riding their ATVs and four-wheelers. So hopefully we can get a couple of canyons away from the roads and the ATV trails and kind of get away from the noise, see if we can see something. I'm gonna flip this around. A lot of the color is gone, but what's still left is awfully pretty. Look at that grove of aspen across the valley over there, all yellow. A lot of these trees have already lost their leaves. Alright guys, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me with the wind. My GoPro battery's already dead. I charged them last night. I think when I leave it in the truck, if it gets just the slightest bit warm in the truck, it just sucks the battery down. That's the only thing I can figure. Because they should be almost 100%. Anyway, so I'm just filming on my phone. I got up to the first ridge, and now I'm just glassing. I'm just going to glass all day. Hike this ridge, glass, glass, glass. See if we can turn something up. Just turned 4 o'clock. Just been sitting and glassing. Been glassing here to the east. Then I'll hop over the other side of this hill and he'll glass the west and the south. Haven't seen any elk. But it's just now getting to the good time of the day, 4 o'clock. Sun's starting to get a little bit lower in the sky, so hopefully we'll start picking some stuff up. Well guys, I finally glassed up some elk. Problem is they are forever away and they're on private property. 3 of them that I can see for sure. They are moving this way. We still got about an hour and a half until shoot light is over. I just can't imagine there's any way they're coming this far though. We'll see. Keep watching them. At least we're seeing some elk. Just coming out of the mountains, guys. This will just be a real short clip that I'll add to this elk hunting video, but man, look at that sunset. Look at the clouds. Pretty night. It's the last day of the Utah general elk season, rifle season. Playing hide and seek with the elk, and the elk are winning. I got my brother-in-law Ray here with me today. He's supposed to be my good luck charm. We'll see what happens. And if he's not, got Greg Allen over there shedding layers. So if we don't see any elk, I'm gonna blame it on these two guys. It's about 10:30, maybe 11. Really slow this morning. We didn't see any elk, saw a few deer, a couple other hunters. Pretty country though. We just bailed off of that. Probably doesn't look like much, but I can promise you it's steep. I fell once. These guys had a good chuckle, I think. Not out loud, but I'm sure they did it themselves. Oh, okay. All right. We all fell then. I was saying I fell on the way down. I thought that was good. So we're going to work this trail up and get up in these north-facing slopes that are got pine on them, and so far the elk are still winning the hide and seek game. Well, we're hiking through Mission Impossible, but we just found an old rub. Looks like a deer rub. Kind of cool. Well, thanks so much, guys, for following along on my 2020 over-the-counter Utah Any Bull elk hunt. You know, unfortunately, I didn't get an elk. In fact, I didn't get an elk or a deer. This is the first year, gosh, probably in the last 10 or 11 years that I didn't harvest at least one or the other. So it was a little rough as far as putting an animal in the freezer this year, but still had a great time. Still got to get out. Not very much. I hunted less this year than I have in a long time. It's just been a real busy season at church with all the COVID stuff and some staff changes we've been going through. But I don't say any of that to complain. I'm thankful for the time I did get out. I'm thankful that I got to spend time with my brother-in-law and with Greg. It was a great day being out there with them. And just thankful that I'm healthy enough to do it. You know, God has blessed me with health. He's blessed me with an area that I live in where, you know, you can hunt game really within 30 minutes of my house. I can be in pretty good deer and elk country. And so I'm very grateful. I'm not complaining at all. I just wish for you guys that we'd have got an animal down. It'd been a little more exciting on the videos, but hopefully you enjoyed the scenery. Hopefully you enjoy the fact that it is what it is. I don't just show videos when I find a bunch of sheds or when I catch a ton of fish or when I shoot a big animal, but I also show when I go out and come back with some humble pie and some tag soup, like we mentioned on the last video. I want to wrap up with the Minute on the Mountain, which is Psalm 95:2. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us sing to him with songs of praise. And that's just what I want to do today. And I want to do it every day, but I just want to be thankful to the Lord that he let me get out and enjoy this hunting season, that he, again, allowed me to have the health to get out and tromp up and down the mountains. That third day of the elk hunt that I just showed you guys, we put about 11 miles on by the time it was all said and done. A lot of elevation gain and loss. It was up and down most of the day. So just really grateful I got to do it. Last thing I want to do in addition to that Minute on the Mountain is the channel shout out. I want to shout out Georgia Fishing and Trapping. I've really liked a lot of his kayak fishing videos, and now he's getting ready for trapping season, and I've enjoyed watching some of those videos as he's getting ready for his upcoming trapping season. So again, that's Georgia Fishing and Trapping. Check out his channel when you get a chance. I'll put a link in the description. Thanks so much for coming along, guys. Again, Psalm 95:2 is the Minute on the Mountain. Check that out when you have some time. God bless you guys. Have a good week.